as I mentioned in my earlier tape that I did on the Lost Keeper case, I found another one while I was looking for that case of the Wenatchee blades. So here's the second case of Lost Keepers that I kind of completely lost track of. And as you see, there's a mixed bag in this thing. I looked through some of these points, and there's all different dates and everything. So I think what I had done is I must have had a box of points that I had made, and I just wanted to put them in a case, and that's how they ended up in here. Here's one of my famous eagles here, and that guy isn't too bad. He's got a nice, real nice hook beak on him right there. And next to him is some agate. I don't know how, oops, I don't know how translucent this guy is or not, but usually these are pretty nice as far as translucency goes. And also, you notice there's a couple pretty good size dovetails in here. This guy's big. Now the date on this one is 2005. It's got a little button base on it. It's a nice piece of Burlington. I believe that's what I use, because at the time I made these I didn't really have any Keokuk or much Peoria. So Burlington chert was what I used mainly. It was a favorite of mine. And over here is kind of a mate to it, a little bit shorter. As you can see, it's pretty close, but yet probably about a ½ inch shorter. That's a really thin one. And this one's dated 2000. So hey, this one really gets back there. Yeah, this one's 13 years old now. I can't believe I hung on to it that long. But there's a variety of things in here. This one's quite interesting here. This material more than anything. Although I do love the point style. It's kind of a signature type that I seem to make. This one's dated 2001. This is Colha from down in Belize. Colha was used by the Mayans to do a lot of their flint work and their eccentrics and all that. And you can see, you know, it kind of goes from like a burnt orange to like a greenish brown to like a tan. Just a really cool looking piece of stone. And over here is a mate to it that's just a great big piece of Burlington. Now this one does have some speckles in it. This could possibly be some Peoria chert. I'm not sure. But that one's real heavy duty. It's not as thin, but it's a nice point nonetheless. There was another dove up here. Now I've had this thing forever. Let's see. This one is dated 1992. Get that one, guys. 92. But I always loved this point because look at this. You can almost, if I get the right light here, in that middle there, it's a quartzy area, and with the right light, that'll shine right through the middle of the point. And I just think this dove's cooler than heck. But now that one's going on, well, let's see, 92, that's 21 years that I've had this point. So I do keep them for a while if I like them. Here's a Cumberland. Pretty nicely fluted, both sides. Kind of looks representative of what a Cumberland point should look like. I've only made a few of these, and this is only the second one I've kept in a keeper case. I do have another one in another box somewhere. Again, there's a variety of things. Of course, naturally, you know, I can't show you a case without showing you a hardened point either side here. And this one here definitely lets light through it. You can see those two holes there? Look at those two spots. Those are two quartz pockets. And this is some flint ridge that I had quarried myself when I'd gone out there. And I think the date on this is 2003. It's not the prettiest stone, but yet it was a piece I had picked up when I was down there checking out the Flint Ridge quarries way back in, I think it was possibly 98 or 9. I don't remember. My memory fails me. Cool little Dalton drill there. That guy's pretty neat. And notice here, there's these really shallow notched lanceolate points on each side here. Well, those are metalwood points, And a metalwood point was one of the things that I set out to make when I wanted to become a flint knapper. And this is right on the money. And this one's not dated. I'm sure it's pretty early though. Probably goes back in the 90s, early 90s. But we love to find these because sometimes these occur in caches where you find lots of them. And sometimes they'll have red ochre staining them, meaning that they were probably in a big deposit. So anyway, this crazy looking thing here, this does have a memory. I was invited to do a flint knapping time at Letchworth Park. Every year they have a free learn to catch a fish family picnic down there, and I was asked to do some flint knapping. And I thought, well, what's a flint knapper really got to do with fishing? And I sat down with this one piece of, I think this looks to be Burlington. This is some good Burlington too, real clean. I sat down with this piece, made a biface, and I got thinking, one guy asked me, how did they keep the fish from wiggling off the spear? Now, if you had something that was smooth like this, and you speared it into a fish, well, it could, the fish would wiggle and he'd come right off. So I come up with this point with all these serrations, and I says, this is how you stop a fish from coming off if you spear them. And it's no particular point type, it's just something I created for the moment, and I always kind of got a kick out of it, and I kept it. There's a variety of other things in here. I read an article one time about these blades, I think they were Scandinavian, where they just took a flake off. See, this is all flat. And they just worked the one side, and sometimes they were triangular in shape. They would come up on each side, but be flat on the back, and that's all they did to make the point. So I made a couple of those. Here's another one. You see how there's really no work. It's like a uniface point. Again, there's a whole bunch of little birdies in here just kind of kicking around, filling up space. Nice little cahokia right there. That's made of some really, really pretty stone with all the stripes in it. I've made them thinner than this, but this one isn't bad. It looks pretty nice. And let's see, what else is left in here? There's just all kinds of little things that are poked in here, but this was my one attempt at one time to make an ishi point. Now you saw the ones that I was sent in the pay it forward package with the tight notches. Well, this is about as good as it got for me to get my notches in tight. They're not all that tight, but it kind of looks a lot like what Ishi had made. So that one kind of stuck around. I figured nobody wanted it, so I kept it. Anyway, that was a quick look at what I had found. This is kind of a long video probably. I'm looking at the minutes here. We're up to 8 minutes, so this will probably take me a day to upload with this high def. Anyway, thanks for watching, and this is Lost Keeper Case number 2.